Friends, we have certain things to do in war towards ourselves first and for the nation. So, let us begin with the first and foremost thing, that one has to be maintaining his high morale with calmness and be composed, not panic. That's the first thing that is required. This condition can come by awareness. And awareness is nothing but having information of what is required to be done. In that case, one will have to get informed from various resources, agencies or authorities regarding air raid warning system, lighting restrictions, directory of locations and telephone numbers of different officials responsible for civil defense and other purposes, from where you can get help or relief. After that, we have to do certain work at home and at workplace. I take this thing to both together because same things are to be done at both places. So let us see what's the first thing we can do. We do have cupboards, we do have shelves to accommodate our files and even appliances at home or things at home. The first thing we are required to do is move all the heavier items to the lowest part compartment of that shelf or cupboard. This is important to keep the cupboard anchored, as well as from a falling accident of that heavier thing which is kept on the top part of the shelf or above the shelf or the cupboard. This is very important. The second thing that is required is to prevent fires. To prevent fires, the simplest thing you can do is remove all the unwanted or which are not helpful, you are not using today, which may be items of wood, paper or cloth or cotton which easily burns. Just dispose them off. The next part is we do require essential fuels and oils for cooking purpose, and we do have reserves for that. But during wartime, don't store more than that is required for the particular month. And whatever you have, just bifurcate it and keep it at two different places. So if at all that area is under fire, then the amount of fuel that is going to burn is cut down. It's a very simple idea that can be used. The third part is, at many times we would be required to evacuate our house. You have to climb down or go to a passage. Our passage of evacuation should be clear of all obstacles, whatever they are. And these are the three things which we can do at your home, at your workplace. The next part is, we may be in transit, traveling or on the road, we are in the open, and just stop the vehicle, get out of it and go to a low-lying area or to the nearest compound wall or the building which has a basement and take refuge there. In times of war, you are always welcomed, even if you are a stranger to that place. Nobody will stop you. Once you have done that, you have to be there till you get a clear silence. Now, when you talk about silence, let me tell you one thing, that it is important. It is important to know this thing, that we get red message, which is a wobbling sound of siren for 2 minutes, and after the air raid, we get the green message of siren sounding in the same pitch. The timing of an air raid may vary. The maximum which we have found is 6 minutes. Okay, then you can move on. If the vehicle is available, you can move, you can complete your going to a place wherever you want to go, and it's become simple. The next part we will come to is that once we are at home and we have tried to prevent fire in one way, we will require to control the fire if at all it occurs, if it happens. It is better to keep 2 buckets full of water in the house and 2 buckets in front of the door, so that 4 buckets are available if there is a fire. Using a soaked bedsheet to smother a fire is the simplest way of fighting fire at home. It is very basic. And definitely, the wardens in civil defense and home guards will give you knowledge about this during war periods, how to do it. So if we move on to this lighting restrictions. Lighting restrictions is a word I am using instead of saying that it should be blackout, because certain amount of light can be used at home. You can turn down the brightness in your house by changing the bulbs to low power. You can cover the windows from either sides by paper or brown paper, so they cut down the light that is falling on the road, so you have a normal life within your house till the air raid signal red is given. Because once the red is given, you have to just switch off all the lights and be at a place wherever you are. If you have survived this particular part, and if you know and have acquired certain skills in peacetime, it is the first thing to look after your family members. If they are okay, you can go out and help others. And you can assist and cooperate and coordinate with the authorities who come to give relief, because you are a person knowing that area. A warden may be a better guide for you, and you can do it in a very, very simple way. The next part that is required is you have to take care of your elderly people, small children, and if you have got a family of a very small scale and you have the neighbors, you have to coordinate with them, cooperate with them, and help them to help these people who are unable to move on their own, to take them to safety in case you have to evacuate that area. Now that becomes important. If you have to go to an area which is a refuge area or a shelter where you have to be for a longer period, it's better to have your own emergency kit. If you have an emergency kit, it requires to have certain things like first aid equipment, maybe certain scissors and this to cut, and bandages or band-aids for small injuries. Your kit may also contain torches with extra set of batteries, transistor for getting information whenever you want from the authorities or when they are broadcasted. The next part will be that you can also keep water bottle, hard cash, because it might happen that the power may not be there after a raid, or you may not have the internet work functioning. So hard cash along with your ATM cards would be helpful. You can also keep a rope of about 20 feet, which is helpful, so that you can have, tie things and do some basic rescue if you have to come down or climb up to first or second floor if you are trained, that means, but it is required. You must also have 2 bed sheets with you to help you out of this place. If you are taking some medicine, you should have a proper quota of your medicine with you. And if you have to stay for a longer period at a particular place outside your house, your prescription should be there with you. Of course, you may also have something to eat, because the moment you go out, you may not get a shelter outside, and you have to be on your own. So biscuits would do, some dry rations that would do. and definitely that's going to help you for at least some time outside. It's a good part to be a good citizen. You must always listen and do or comply with the instructions that are given by the authorities and agencies, and the civil defense people, the wardens, are always there to guide you, even for doing your lighting restrictions. So they can help you in doing dim out and brown out. They can come and do it for you, help you out of it, because there may be a place where only elderly people are living. They require help. That can be done. Now, to have these things to be done and place it in a right manner during war, what we require is persons who are trained. So getting trained prior to any war is the best policy, best strategy. If you can join these organizations, well and good. If you are willing to do it, it's well and nice. If not, the best part is you can always go out and help our injured on the border or inside the area of attack or air raid by donating blood. You can support the war efforts by donating money, and in such peril conditions, to keep your calm and composed, and you should always be in contact with your divine light. If you can do that, yes, it is for the love, strength and protection that we will require during emergency.